This is the Aftermarket Radio Network. It's your Weekly Blitz with Chris, keeping you in the game.
Are you ready to supercharge your auto repair business? This is Coach Chris Cotton from AutoFix-Auto Shop Coaching. The Weekly Blitz is where industry expertise and business innovation collide, revving your engines for the week ahead. Every episode is loaded with game-changing insights, up-to-the-minute industry updates, and practical tips to shift your business into high gear. We're talking about stuff you didn't even know you didn't know people. A big shout out to our awesome sponsor, Shop Marketing Pros. Top-tier marketing for not just any audience, but the right audience. Shop Marketing Pros connects your European auto repair shop with car enthusiasts who value expertise, the auto repair experience, and a great relationship. Go pro with Shop Marketing Pros, your ticket to top-tier results. Find out how they can fuel your success at shopmarketingpros.com/Chris. First of all, I want to tell everybody, Kimberly's doing great. She's recovering well. For everybody that's asking, she's in Oklahoma. I had to fly home. I'm going to do a Service Center Scholars meeting here this weekend, but she's out of the hospital, recovering, walking up and down the block, ready to start terrorizing the neighborhood again. So she's doing great. Thanks for asking. So today I wanted to talk about saying yes or not saying, or finding a way to not say no. Seems like this is coming up a lot lately. And I hear some shops are struggling a little bit. And one of the things I want to make sure is that we're removing the hurdles to service for our great customers. So I've got two, for instances, that I want to talk about, both at the same shop, both happened in the last week, and we've just got to do better, right? You know, I know we're striving for a work-life balance. We're trying to make everybody happy, but in the end, if we don't make the customer happy, we will all be out of a job. Okay. So I feel like I've done this a lot, but here's your reminder. We're going to do it again. And if you have employees that are having problems saying yes, maybe play this for them and see if this doesn't help them out at all. Okay. Number one, we had an instance where we had promised a car out for a client that was leaving the state, and we told them that the vehicle is going to be done a certain day, a certain time. We did have a couple of things that we had sublet that needed to get done, but things had gotten back from the sublet in enough time to get things done. Granted, a little later in the day, like 2:30, 3 o'clock, needed a couple, 2-3 hours worth of work. So this might have pushed them to 5:30 or 6. But what happened is the customer called, asked for an update on their vehicle, and the service advisor told the customer, oh, we're not going to be able to get that finished in time for you to leave on your trip. Now, this is like with a day's notice. And then the service advisor in question started talking about all the reasons why. Your customers don't care about all the reasons why you can't take care of them. So we need to stop giving them all the BS and deliver them the news and move on. When the shop owner heard about this, he about blew a sprocket, kind of was able to catch this and head it off. But what it came down to is the service advisor, who is in charge of production, their pays based on it, the technician's pays based on it, should have set the expectation that, hey, we need to get this done for this customer because it's been promised out. I think in the end, she didn't feel like she wanted to go to the technician and say, hey, I need you to get this done today, no matter what, and let's move on. Now, I also want service advisors to be on the technician's side. Let me say that. But we have to be on the side of when we promised it out and our customer. Like we can't leave a customer hanging because either we're personally scared or afraid to go out and ask a technician, hey, we need to get this done. And if we need to stay like 45 minutes or an hour late, I will stay with you to help do this so that we can deliver this car for this customer. In the end, I think we got it handled, but this is just an instance when we told the customer no, when we should have told them yes. We should have found out a way. The service advisor should have had the conversation with both the technician and the customer early on that morning. Hey, it looks like some of this stuff's going to run a little late. We're going to get it taken care of for you and make this happen. I think if the service advisor would have went out that morning and been like, hey, we need to get as much other stuff done in order for us to be able to deliver this car, and we may all have to stay late. Or if you can find one of the other technicians to help you stay late, maybe we can cut this down to like 15, 30 minutes. Really, at the end of the day, all we needed to get done was mount some tires, do an alignment, test drive it, wash it, and be ready. It wasn't like it was going to run over, but again, we told the customer no, and we also caused the customer a lot of undue stress. Like, how would you like it if you were leaving town in 24 hours and somebody said, oh, you can't take your car because we can't finish it up? Just not the right place to be in. And as a shop owner, you pay way too much for marketing to get these people in for us to flub it at the last minute. And as service advisors, this affects your pay. This is how you get paid in good and or great shops. I'm going to throw this word out. We can't besmirch our reputation by doing things that way. So really, point of advice is try not to say no. Make sure that we have a way to say yes. Make sure you get yourselves out of holes before you even get into them. And we got to take care of the customer. The other situation, same shop, same service advisor. So definitely we're working with the service advisor on some of these skills. And I will say she's new to this shop. That's good. She has a lot of great qualities, but apparently in the shop that she came from, it was a dealership. They did some things like this that we don't want in our shop. The other situation was customer came in upset, not with us, at their current situation. There was something wrong with their car and they needed it looked at. Instead of saying, yes, we can get that taken care of for you, the service advisor went into a long soliloquy about all the reasons why the shop was being put upon or the shop was being inconvenienced because this person last minute decided to drop a car off. Customer doesn't care about any of that. Customer just wants to know if you can help them or not. The service advisor was almost to the point to where they had turned this person away and the person was they were obviously needing service that day, or they were obviously leaving it to get something done. But if the owner wouldn't have stepped in, that customer would have went away and maybe went to another shop. And then maybe we would have lost that customer for life because who knows what kind of service they're going to get somewhere else. We just know that we want them to stay with us and we don't want them going anywhere else. Especially if the customer is right in front of you, the customer's already at your counter. There's an issue and they want to spend money. Smile and say yes. Don't tell them what a terrible person they are for inconveniencing you because they brought your car in today unscheduled. Just smile, say yes, and figure it out. Just drives me nuts. I cannot imagine somebody actually standing at a counter doing that. It's just a habit thing. So you got to work through the habit. Smile, say yes. And this is going to take me to the third thing for today. When you say yes, I got in trouble. I was speaking at an event. People were talking about car count and one thing and the next. One of the shop owners was like, well, we schedule pretty heavy, but it always seems at the end of the day, we have time left over. And my comment was, say yes to everybody and figure it out. And one of the guys, he's an old timer in the industry, got bent out of shape about it and challenged me after the class. And I didn't say lie to the customer and overpromise and underdeliver. I said, say yes and figure it out. Say yes and figure it out means if a customer calls up and they have an emergency, tell them you can get it in, tell them you can get it taken care of. But we don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. We want to do it the opposite way. We want to underpromise and overdeliver. Give them a realistic timeline on when you think you're going to look at it, but also tell them if the vehicle's here and we get an open slot, then we'll be able to pull it right in and we'll fill that slot or fill that need. Say yes means taking care of the customer, but it doesn't mean lying to them. It doesn't mean overpromising and underdelivering. So I want you to think about that. There's no bait and switch. The shop owner and I had quite the conversation. I think in the end, he got what I meant, but you should always be saying yes. We pay a lot of money to make the phone ring, to have people click on the book now button and all of these things. And we screw it up a lot of the time at the last step, right when people are ready to come in. If they're in front of you unexpectedly, say yes, smile and be like, oh, I'm so glad, Mrs. Johnson, that you're here today. I haven't seen you in a while. Absolutely we'll take care of your crisis for you. And then number two, if you told somebody that you were going to have them out of town and on the road for vacation, you better have them out of town and on the road for vacation. Even if you and the technician and the expediter, whoever needs to spend a little bit of time, 30, 45 minutes late in the day, getting that done. Okay. So again, say yes, don't underdeliver and overpromise, and just make it easy to be able to do business with. Customers don't want to hear your BS stories. They want to know the truth, short and sweet, give it to them. A big shout out to our listeners. Your dedication to growth fuels our passion. And let's not forget our fantastic sponsor, Shop Marketing Pros, who makes the show possible for you. Where quality meets visibility, Shop Marketing Pros ensures your European auto repair shop stands out in the crowded market. Until next time, this is Coach Chris Cotton signing off. It's time to rise and grind, everyone. Also, make sure to go check out one of the other great podcasts on the Aftermarket Radio Network.
You've been listening to the Weekly Blitz with Coach Chris Cotton on the AftermarketRadioNetwork.com. Follow Chris on your favorite podcast listening app. Let him know what you'd like him to cover. His email is in the show notes. Chris is all for advancing the aftermarket.